amazing artist. I am teacher Lenny from ArtinEnglish, and since many of you have requested for a video for this, I decided to show you today how we are going to print from a jelly plate. That's right. So first things, this is a jelly plate right over here, and this is one that I made myself. Okay, so it's a lot of fun to teach with younger children, especially if you want to introduce them to printmaking without the hassle. Now there are two ways to do this. One is you can make your own jelly plate like this one, or you can purchase one online on the internet or on Amazon. Now, one of the beautiful things about it being autumn and winter in Taiwan, there are lots of leaves lying around. So of course, one way that we always like to introduce leaf printing or a seasonal change is by using leaf prints. But of course now, this kind of jelly plate printing is much more fun to do. I've done it with one of my classes before, and they really loved it. So I thought I would share with you how we did it in class. So let's get ready and let's get started. Alright, to get started with your jelly plate print, you're going to need the following. The first things first, make sure that you have a nice table surface, a clean one. You can put a piece of paper or a cover over your table to keep it clean. I have basically a baking sheet here, and you can see this is my jelly plate. This is one we've made, and I've used it before. So it's a very small size, so it's not as big as it should be, but you can go bigger. Now the next thing you're going to need is the following. You're going to be needing a brayer. This is called a roller or a brayer. It's a tool that we use to spread the ink or the paint with in a printmaking class or printmaking. It's a printmaker's tool. Now this is a quite expensive one. It has a rubber band on it. If you are printing with smaller children, you can of course get one like this. Plastic, smaller, easier. So different things that you can use to create your print with, you can use to create textures. I got a couple of these. They're cheap and they're easy to use from the stationery store. Just go have a look near the clay supply. And then I also have a sponge like this. This one is used before. Now to spread, okay, you may also use some dried out leaves. Okay. Just to give you an example, you can pick any kind of leaf that you want. Make sure though that before you start printing that you put the leaf in a book and press it flat. Make sure that it's dried out nice and flat. So I have different leaves, selection of leaves over here, and as you can see. Then of course you want to use ink or paint. Now if you are into printmaking, you can use a printmaker's ink, or what I would like to use is you can use acrylic, or you can use tempera liquid paint, any color. If you're going to print with younger children, I would suggest using acrylic or liquid tempera paint. It's much easier to clean and it's more fun. Another thing that you're going to need is a cup of water and a paintbrush. Okay. Also, the kind of paper that you want to print on, I'm going to show you here. This is kind of like a watercolor based paper. You can use a texture one or you can use a flat one. So, and I cut it up into different sizes. Now to get started, make sure your hands are clean. So what I want to do is I'm going to start with my first color. Okay. So I'm going to be using liquid tempera paint, which I mixed already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be spreading it with my brush like that. Okay. Just kind of dotting it. Once you have enough, okay, brush down, you can get a roller or the brayer. Now what you want to do is you want to roll it. So if your jelly plate sticks to the roller, that's okay. So roll it in different directions. You can go up and down, left to right, And I want you to listen for a sound very carefully. Spreading your ink or your paint evenly over your plate. Okay, so this is the first part that you want to do. Right. Okay, here we go. Now once you have enough ink or paint on there, you can put your roller down. You will notice that your brayer has a hook here. You can put it like that, flat. Make sure that you put it up like that. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to get started with printing. So now I'm going to be choosing, let's choose like one leaf. Let's choose this one. And I'm going to do that. Okay. So what's going to happen now, if you put this down here, it'll block out the ink. Okay. Press it down gently with your fingers. Okay. Into the jelly. But one thing you want to do is don't poke your finger into the jelly plate. A lot of children like to do that. They get very excited. Just keep reminding them not to poke their hand in it. So there we go. Okay. Now, make sure that your hands are clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of paper. Here we go. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to press it down. Make sure that it's centered nicely. Now I'm going to use my left hand. Press it down. Now when you're printing, make sure that your hands don't move. Don't move the image. If you do that, you'll get something what's called a ghost image or blurry kind of image. So you want to keep one hand down. Press it down. Make one hand into a fist, and then you want to do that. You just gently kind of want to rub it. Rub, 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 rub. Rub some more. Rub it again. And you can change your hand. Make it into a fist. And rub it again. Here we go. Rub, 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 rub. Okay. Now, and you can really press it down. You will see maybe there'll be some ink or some paint coming through a little bit, and that's quite normal. That's fine. So now what you want to do is you want to lift it with your hands, the corners like that. I'm going to show you what that looks like. There you go. And that's your first print. So if you have a little bit of mess there, that's fine. It happens. So this is what happens when you print with a leaf like that. So I'm going to show you what happens when you take the leaf off. Okay. So now I'm going to take the leaf off. Okay. Very gently. And you will see there's an image there. So I might decide to press it down here, just for fun. Okay. And let's add something else. Maybe I want to add this. Okay. Piece of texture here, and press it down like that. Now, you can of course print one paper like this to see what happens when you do that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take another piece of paper. Okay. I'm going to press it down. Okay. And one hand down. Make a fist. Rub, 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 rub. Okay, and then I'm going to lift it. Might look a little different. Okay. And there you go. You'll see you have a leaf texture here and another block. So what I want to do now is maybe I want to add a different color. So I'm going to wash my brush, of course. Make sure that you wash your brush in water. That's why you have a cup of water. And I'm going to choose a different color this time. So this time, just for fun, I'm not going to move anything. So maybe I want to use like, let's see. Okay, got kind of a red color here. Okay. Or slightly lighter pink. And I'm going to lift that. And I want to add some different colors here. Now keep experimenting, so you can actually kind of brush it on as well. You don't always have to use a roller. I've actually gotten my students to do that as well. So they would brush on the image, okay, like that. Okay, I think that's fine. So let's see what's going to happen if we do this side. So I'm going to take another piece of paper and I want to print it again. So, hand down, print it like that. Press your hand down, make a fist. Okay, and you're ready? 1, 2, 3. So if it sticks to your jelly plate a little bit, that's fine. Just pick it down, but be careful. And there you go. So you'll have something like that. Okay, so now maybe I want to change that. So I'm going to take the same color, spread it on, dot, dot, dot. And the nice thing with this is just let them play, have some fun with it. So I'm going to take my roller again. Now for printmakers this is a nightmare because we like to clean our brayers for each color, but if you're going to be teaching kids, let's have some fun. So now what I want to do here, okay, I'm going to be taking something different. So what if I use this image? Okay, I'm going to put it on the side there, press it down. So now you can press it down. Use 2 fingers, 3, 4 fingers, like that. Okay. And if you lift it there, you'll see there's a texture. So maybe for the next part, I want to use another kind of leaf. So I'm going to press that down. So when you press this one down and you don't lift it, it'll block out, it'll be white. Okay. So now I'm going to use this. Okay. So let's see what happens if I add another color. So press that down into your jelly plate, like that. Okay, and then I want to maybe use my sponge. So I'm going to have fun with that. So let's go for another color. And I'm going to put it in here. A tip for printing, you want to wet your sponge before you do that and then squeeze out the water so that it's quite moist before you do it. I'm just going to do this. Let's see. Let's have some fun. So there we go, 3 dots. Like that. Okay, now again you want to get your paper ready. Okay, center it nicely. One hand here. Change this hand, but don't move it. Remember, if you move it, it's going to be a ghost image. Press down firmly, like you're going like 1, 2, 3, like that. Make a fist, and then kind of do this. Rub it like that. Okay. And then take your fingers here and then lift it. Now I'm going to lift it one side to show you. And there you go. So, ta-da! You have a print like that. And of course, you can, as you can see there, I put the leaf on before and I lifted it so it creates a texture. If you leave the object there, it'll block it out. So you can of course keep experimenting with different colors and different shapes and patterns. This is a fun way to introduce printmaking without any kind of difficulty, no carving, and it's a lot of colors and kids really, really love it. Okay, so one way to clean your plate is kind of like you can take bits of paper and just keep printing. So I wouldn't advise this, but it's kind of fun to do. And what I do is I just keep using one paper. Try to find any piece of scrap paper that you have that you don't like, you want to use it again, and just rub it again like that and clean it up. Okay, until just about all the ink comes off, or all the paint. There we go. I have some tissue stuck here. Previously I tried to clean this with a tissue and it didn't work. If you're going to be having, doing this at home with your child or with children, I would suggest that you just take paper like this. A lot of my students during the class, we ended up doing that and they were like, wow, 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 wow. So this is a lot more fun. Give them like a scrap piece of paper and just kind of clean it like that. Okay. That. Keep lifting it. Keep printing it. Another one. Oh. Okay, so because this is a homemade jelly plate, it's not going to look like the one that you would buy. So what you can do is, of course, you can do this. You can use some sanitizer, and you can use a sponge, the soft side, and just kind of dab it like that. Same thing as a paper. Gently wipe them. Just gently wipe it like that. Edges, around the edges, be careful. And there you have it.